Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good to be back and have another day. Blessed to see another one. Looking on the charts here, we all know what I'm looking for today. I told you guys that yesterday. If not, I very much so would like to see all this in here cleaned up. And above here, rally above there, a short-lived rally. Okay, if I'm going to be looking for a reversal, it needs to be very, very short-lived. Okay, and then I'd be targeting previous daily low. That's initially what I'm looking at and thinking for. And we have the 9:30 opening coming in about 1 minute, so we are going to see and speculate what we can do based off that 9:30 opening. So, with that said, Daniel, Brian, Mr. Squeeze, Golden Child, First Runner, Alvaro, Mikey, good to see you all back, certainly, and good morning to you guys. All right, there we go. So I was waiting for it to do something, but there it is. There's the expansion. Certainly better than originally than what we had in this opening range here yesterday. So all the 15-minute candles are back and forth, and then finally got that expansion out of the consolidation. So I like how we're getting the ball rolling here early rather than, hanging around for some time. And we're obviously trading lower now. These lows down here clearly are too clean. Okay, if the 9:30 opening is going to do what I think it's going to do, I think that we're actually going to be looking at things on the flip side, meaning these lows will be swept. Okay, previous daily low will be swept, and then we'll look to long about these obvious placed in engineered highs. Now, I very much so, based on what I told you guys yesterday, I very much so, based on my experience and many trades I've taken in the past, what I'm looking at stacking on the week, I would very much so like to take shorts and focus primarily on shorts. However, it's going to be tough for me to do so if we're coming down, sweeping a very clear pool of liquidity within the new week opening gap, which yields fair value, and see these highs left behind. I would like to see that act as some type of buy model here, okay, and sweep these highs. Isaac. Okay, this is a good question. So Isaac says, once you pass the combine, you cannot have any drawdowns in your Express account because I saw that the account cannot reach zero, and in theory you start with zero, right? So that's almost true. When it comes to the actual fund of the accounts, it works the same as the combines with the trailing drawdown. As the equity increases, the trailing drawdown increases. But once you take that first payout, they're kind of sneaky with it. Because they want you to they want you to blow the account after you take a payout from them. They don't want you to get multiple payouts on one account. It's basically what's going on. But once you take a withdrawal, once you take a payout, then that's whenever the trailing drawdown comes right up to zero, and it never changes from there. So your account cannot go down to zero. So if you let's say you get your account up to $2,000 and you take a $1,000 payout, you only have $1,000 to play with, so you can only lose $1,000, right? Which, I mean, that's not going to happen if you use my risk management plan, but that's just an example. Now, as for the 9:30 opening, I would expect this thing to continuously expand until we reach the previous daily low here. All right. Okay, same thing with NASDAQ. Or one of them sweep it and one of them fail to do so. Because really, when we're looking at NQ, sweeping on these internal lows, that is more than enough to send this thing above the highs here and all these highs left behind from yesterday. Okay, and then this fair value gap. So see how we're dropping down. Now the key here is the only reason why I care about these internal lows being ran is because we're below midnight opening price and we have very obvious and opposing targets to the upside. Okay, an unfinished business basically. Now, to be honest, if I'm going to be looking at excessive bearishness for the averages here, I honestly would not want to see ES get the whole way up here. So at the very minimum, I'd like to see ES run up above these highs here, okay? So it looks like ES was able to sweep this internal low. Yes, it was. So we have previous session low now ran. This is our classic London low, taking us sell side liquidity. Perfect. And I would be surprised if we had any type of regular trade in our gap. No, we don't. All right. All right, so I like that large expansion now because I really want this thing to show me it's in a hurry to sweep previous daily low because that's going to just add to me wanting to buy up into these highs here because if it's in a hurry to sweep this low, okay, it really wants to get up there. What I want to view this as, okay, if it keeps just imploding lower, right, keeps grinding lower, okay, I might have to, look for a continuation model. In that case, I'm going to be waiting a good deal longer than what I'm anticipating to happen. However, if we come down, sweep previous daily low, which I want us to do, all right, we have the proper signatures. What I'm going to view this as, okay, we're already bearish, all right? What I'm going to view this as is the market was dropping down, consolidating. You guys should already know where I'm going by now because I repeat this more times than I can tell you. Once we consolidate, we create this low, what happens? We bounce up off that. A lot of people are going to try and buy in on this, right? Because we traded down. You know, you buy low, sell high, right? A lot of sell stops are going below this low and short. All right, as we rise up, okay, they're more confident, and then boom, we slam down. Once we trade down below this low, we're doing two things. We're sweeping sell side liquidity out of the marketplace, but we're also inducing and inviting liquidity to the downside. So we're inviting people to sell short. So whenever I view us taking previous daily low, I want to see this act as a counterparty to send this thing higher for those who have already been shorting early, right? So we'd be taking out willing buyers at a higher price with their buy stops above here. And then once we do that, then and only then the market would be free and allow to trade in the real direction that it wants to go, which is to the downside, right? Now, everyone, remember what I posted this morning inside of the main chat, right? When you strip it down, you simplify it, okay? Shift your mindset from being so focused and orientated on how many trades you can take, how many times your setup going to complete, how much can you do, like where's the action at? Shift your mindset from that into understanding that you really do not need as much as you think you need. Okay, putting it in the perspective of remembering when you simplify, all you really need is 5 handles on ES and 20 handles NQ per day. 3 of these trades in a week equals $750 per week. Okay, I always advise you guys to start there and grow from there. That's all you really need. It all just comes down to what are you really in this for? What are you trying to cover? What bill are you trying to cover? What not? I don't know. If almost $4,000 a month from this isn't good enough for you, I really don't know what to tell you. But when it comes down to it, you start there, you trade that way, and as you gain more and more equity, okay, you gain more wealth from trading, then you're going to be making more money on each trade that you take, right? You see how that works? So the power of compounding, okay, and having that abundance mindset, understanding that everything's going to come to you. You just have to stick to the system. And, you know, obviously just not be greedy, okay? Not to say that we can't catch huge trades. There's times for that. But more times than not, you really want to stick to the principle of just being content with enough and aiming for consistency over, you know, home runs, fast run-ups, that type of stuff, all right? All right, so I want to see NASDAQ really just trade down and sweep previous daily low, okay? So basically, that's all I'm waiting for at the moment. Okay, ES just touched new week opening gap high. So this is a classic moment in price. Like, we know the deal every single morning, guys. We take it slow after the 9:30 openings because this is the classic moment where excitement is instilled. Everyone wants to do something. They're, you know, hopped up on whatever. And this is the moment where we stay calm, relax, and understand that our setup is likely to come at least 10 to 15 minutes after the 9:30 opening, okay? Or sometime somewhere in between that 10 to 11 a.m. Hour time window. So let's see if we can have the wherewithal to get below previous daily low. At least on NQ, I need to see it sweep that. So ES was able to sweep the internal low here. London low. NASDAQ not quite the previous daily low there. Let's check out Dow. Okay, as I'm saying, I would really like to see, previous daily low swept. I would not be opposed to seeing price move away from where it's traded now. Okay, because this is simply just engineer sell side liquidity. And we look to target that after the high end of the range is swept. Okay, see how that works? So internal range, London session low swept, new week opening gap high delivered. If you go to the hourly chart, you'll see that this wick has been worked in again. All right, very short-lived rally here. So it may just gun for a previous daily low now. Wouldn't be surprised to see that. As for dollar index, okay, I do want to show you guys dollar index quick because this would support, it definitely could drop on a short-term basis, but when it comes down to it, we're still looking for long. What did I tell you guys? Every single candle should be bullish until we reach that higher time frame draw on liquidity. We look at this one here. This was our nearest term draw on liquidity. I told you guys we're going to study what happens once we sweep these highs. Well, what happens? It sweeps above it. Does it show any willingness to hesitate or stop or reverse? Absolutely not. Next candle, what does it do? Slams higher, closes above the survey gap. Whenever I see that, okay, my eyes go right to the next liquidity pool, and guess what? I'm looking for a bullish candle every single day until we reach that. So I'm bullish until we sweep this high. And, I mean, just look at this price right here. Okay? How many down candles were formed in here? One. And it's very, very small. Okay? That's what you expect in high probability, large macro liquidity runs. All right? So yeah, definitely bullish on the dollar index here. Let's check out the hourly. Let's check out the hourly chart. Kind of moving sideways here. Not the greatest action here for dollar index. Okay, we slammed above midnight opening price, cleared these highs. Okay, came back up, worked in this gap, trading off there. So looking at the daily chart for NQ, okay, once we actually are able to get a very obvious sell model, okay, the next and most nearest target is going to be half of this bullish order block right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take midpoint. So I'll make it blue. 1x. Boom. So we all know that this blue dotted line is going to be our next draw for the NASDAQ. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and map out the opening price because that's what we're tapping into right now. Okay, perfect. And then as I showed you guys on ES on the daily chart, okay, we're looking for this fair value gap, which is going to be below previous daily low there. So ES kind of hanging around at new week opening gap at the moment. Okay, notice I got this little 3 drives down into the new week opening gap. All right, there it is. So I didn't notice until now, but NASDAQ was able to sweep previous daily low. So beautiful, perfect. Love to see it. So if it wants to be extended and touch the opening of the order block, that's okay to me, but I don't really want to see it hang around previous daily low too much if it's going to be obviously extended bullish. What I've annotated here is 3 and only important levels when we're looking at a bullish order block. Okay, the high, opening, and the midpoint. Okay, I really like how ES has not swept previous daily low. This could be the catalyst for S&T divergence with us sweeping the London low here. Okay, and odds would be focused up here. So we'll see if this will come to fruition. Okay, on the off chance that it just keeps gradually trading, lower, there's obviously nothing for me to do, right? I'm just simply gonna have to watch it, and I'll probably have to engage with the PM session. But at the moment, okay, things look good. I really like how the 9:30 opening was on a mission. So right out of the gate, 9:30 opening, just no upside, just slammed straight down. I would anticipate this to be a very large Judah swing in price. Remember what I said? This is going to induce short sellers into the marketplace for the breakout artists. Okay, so I would like to counteract that and get above here where everyone's putting their buy stop above here. All right, see how that works? See how there's sound logic in here rather than, oh, you know what? Oh, we got some momentum to the downside. Let me see if I can get a piece of that. And let me just randomly sell and, put a wide stop loss on. Okay, right? Perfect. Okay, I like the turn away from new week opening gap on ES. That is perfect to see. Nice. Okay, let's see if let's see if NASDAQ can really give us that push higher that ES is giving us at the moment. Yeah, Brian, like I was explaining earlier, like this is like clearly on a daily time frame basis, very, very textbook. Okay, classic open trading above the opening to slam into a bearish order block. But when it comes down to it, I go down to the lower time frames, and it's like I really need something more than just, okay, we slammed out at 9:30 opening to, obviously look to engage with a short. But yeah, definitely something good to look at because, let's say, one subtle change in price that would have happened to this morning. Let's say the 9:30 opening slammed above midnight opening price, tapping into that daily order block again. It was able to get above the highs, tap into this. This here's an inversion daily fair value gap on obviously the daily chart, and it wicks above there. Guess what? We're hunting shorts. We're shorting and we're targeting previous daily low, but instead, it's taking a different route. 9:30 a.m. just slammed straight below, and at the moment, not giving us that. Wow, Dow is soaring to the upside though, as I say that. Okay, Dow cleared all the midnight highs and everything in between. The main thing I like right now, though, is how ES is hanging around and has not swept previous daily low and found support at new week opening gap. Okay, so if we stay above that, that to me is good. But, if we just keep gradually grinding lower, like I said, there's nothing for me to do. Literally look at the 9:30 opening, okay? Was any type of liquidity raid taking place? Were any of these highs swept? No. We're just 9:30 opening. Okay, if I'm looking for shorts, what do I expect? I expect 9:30 to trade in the opposite direction. Do we get that? No. Just slam straight lower, comes back up, leaves this fair value gap open, leaves this one open, comes back down, works back up. 2 up close candles right here. Okay, that's reaccumulation of shorts, descended down below previous daily low. So it looks like it wants to tap that opening, which is right here. Okay, that I mapped out. It's the opening of that daily bullish order block. Hold on hold on tight to your impulses and remain patient because that'll serve you well on a day like this. Okay. So I like how we just touched the opening, immediately wicked up off of that. Let's see what ES is doing. Okay, I like how it's still hanging around New Week opening gap. That's what I want to see. All right. I told you guys what I'm looking for. If it gives it to me, I'm going to be cashing out with you guys. However, if it just keeps gradually grinding lower, there's nothing for me to do like I explained. Okay, so with that said, in about, let's see here, about 8 more minutes, we're going to be opening on a new 15-minute candle. And when that happens, as you can imagine, there's going to be this large 15-minute imbalance left behind. So at the very minimum, we need to see price revert to that. All right. So what I'm currently thinking in my mind right now is like, okay, if it does what I don't want it to do and just keeps grinding lower, you guys know that I'm obviously not going to be chasing that. Okay, that's just foolish. It's not a part of any of my models, not a part of my plan, not a part of my risk management plan, none of that stuff. Okay, but if it does keep grinding lower, then my mindset's going to shift to, oh wow, okay, well I'm just going to be anticipating a really good move to happen in the PM session, and that's where my focus is going to go to. Okay, at the moment, okay, how far we've traded down lower, this is all normal. Okay, I'm okay with all of this. Okay, it just comes down to what we do now that we reached the opening of that daily order block. Okay, and obviously we have the SMT divergence stacking up with ES not sweeping the low yet. You know, obviously on any given day, like I'm not coming into the day and be like, oh yes, I want to sit through the entire AM session, and I want to wait to the PM session, and I want to wait the entire day to trade the PM. Obviously, that's not my mindset going into any given day, but if I have to, I have to. That's a part of the game. That's a part of this job here. Okay, you have to wait sometimes. Sometimes you're going to have to be here on hours on end, or sometimes your model will perform right out of the gate. Okay, it all depends. All right, so I like how we're displacing above here. Now the key is, do we get above this up close candle here and upset bearish order flow? Okay. Okay, ES just still consolidating. Okay, I'll view this as accumulation of longs at New Week opening gap. Okay. So I would need price to have a really strong move above, at the very minimum, this up close candle right here. Okay. That would be enough for me. It looks like we tapped into it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're tapping down in these down close candles here. Okay, here's a small gap in between. Now we're gonna sit and watch. Does this thing hold a support and send us higher? Okay. Not trying to pick any bottoms. I'm gonna allow market structure to set itself for me. All right. Now, understanding that we have that underway and understand that we've, just pushed to the downside, right? I wouldn't be trying to look at the first, oh man, we have a change to say deliver here. Here's a fair gap. There we go. I'm in, baby. Let's go. That would just be bleeding out my impatience. Okay, should I have taken that? Okay, like I told you guys, I allow market structure to give me the tipping of the hand that I look for. Okay, rather than always trying to pick the absolute bottom. Okay, because I don't need to do that to make money. All right, and neither do you. So 3 more minutes. We're gonna open on a new 15-minute candle. Like I told you guys, at the very minimum, like if I'm gonna do anything, okay, at the very minimum, I would need a rally up into this 15-minute imbalance. Okay. But if things were to stack up perfectly for me today, what would happen is what I already explained to you guys, okay? We would hold this SMT, we'd slam above the highs here in the midnight opening. That'll be a short-lived rally. And then from there, we'd revert and sell off into this daily fair gap and below the daily lows, okay? That would be the preferred delivery should we actually be trading this thing. And just be, honestly, just classic price action there. Classic manipulation of price after we had a large move down from yesterday's drop. Okay, ES just stacking up, building orders at New Week opening gap. It's hovering around there. Now, once we do get this rally above that I'm anticipating, if we get it, okay, that's just going to give me all the more confidence to begin shorting with this sell program all the way down into these lows down here, like I told you guys, okay? I don't need to be absolutely correct about delivery down here, okay? I'm just understanding that I'd be bearish and utilizing higher end of my leverage on shorts until we get in this vicinity down here. So if we take our daily dealing range here, okay, you'll see that we tapped into 60% optimal trade entry level. That just so happens to align with the very opening of that daily order block that I showed you guys, okay? So if there was a time for a reversal, that would be right now. Okay. So I like how it's losing its steam, but, it all comes down to, do we get that displacement price that we want to see, all right? So ES showing relative strength, okay, not the highest volatility in the moment in the world, but still showing that relative strength, okay? So I'll go ahead and map out this 15-minute bounce. Like I said, at the very minimum, we'll revert into this. Okay, looks like we're going to run for that now. At the very minimum, repricing over to there, but I wouldn't expect us to stop at this fair value gap. I would expect us to continuously expand until we reach the pre-market high here. So notice how we're just continuously stacking up these highs here. Okay, there's obviously going to be trailed buy stops above these highs here. What I would personally expect and anticipate is a large rally up, displacement above into this 15-minute gap and above these highs here. Okay, especially with how much we're hesitating here and considering the relative strength that's being shown on ES here and its willingness to actually tap into that 15-minute gap right now. So this is actually perfect to see. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's see if NASDAQ can continue this and give us that strength. Okay, so basically, if I get a large expansion in price and it forms an order block for value gap entry, I'm going to buy in on this and we're going to go from there. So win or loss, okay, all the idea that I could possibly need is here. Okay, so things are starting to stack up in the favor of, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is my model, that type of thing. So notice how ES just completely expands above the 15-minute gap. That's the type of stuff I want to see right there. Okay, and I'd expect this thing to continue until we reach the highs, and ES will reach the highs first because it's showing the relative strength. It was the one that failed to get below previous daily low. So there we go. This is exactly what I was waiting for. Yeah, we got it. Now the key is, do we get an entry point? If we're going to get an entry point, it's more likely going to happen on the NASDAQ, okay, because ES is already gunning higher here pretty fast. And there we go. Like I said, I would anticipate and expect price to run up into this 15-minute fair value gap low and the highs here. So I'd like to see that. And I'm not viewing this as a reversal point at the moment. I would like to see this thing continue. All right, so it's trading down to this 5-minute down close candle here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and buy the NASDAQ. Okay. Put my stop loss down below. Okay, first take profit is going to be here. And then I'm going to buy one more. And like I said, win or lose, this is everything that I wanted to see. So I'll just be executing my plan, and that's it. So I'm going to hold a runner for the highs. And first take profit is going to be right up here. So let's see, 5-3. Matter of fact, I don't even need that. Let's do right here. Let's see, 50. So first take profit will be 30 handles. And then stop loss remains below the 5-minute down candle here. The body of it. Perfect delivery right here. Okay, I want to see this thing continue. I don't want to see it slow down. So that's already over 10 or 15 over 15 handles in profit. Okay. First take profit is going to be the lower quadrant of the 15-minute imbalance right here. So 30 handle take profit. Okay, it's ES showing that relative strength. Yes, it is beautifully. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so the lower 25% first take profit. Okay, just taking very reasonable partial up here and then holding the runner for the highs. Okay, very simple. Okay, notice how strong ES was. That's exactly what I wanted to see. And the fact that it was so strong is why I bought NQ rather than ES, okay? Because ES has more upside potential in short. So ES should remain heavy here and complete the move above those highs here, and we're going to be expecting NASDAQ to catch up. All right. All right, well, missed first take profit by a tick. There we go. So there's first take profit. at a little over 30 handles, okay? And what you're going to want to do is hold the runner for the high. So we're already paid, okay? We're already paid. And now we're looking for just the first nearest term relative highs above here, okay? So we're holding that runner in price after we're already paying ourselves, okay? Perfect on the yes, this part. So we're about 40 handles in profit here. All right, so obviously going to take a partial there as stated. And then at the very minimum, okay, I'm going to expect price to reach above the high here internally. So stop loss is going to get raised. Okay, so I almost left an important part out. After you pay yourself, you cut your cost on the other contract. So price will be below this down candle, right? Lax, basically just, I was honestly just anticipating this to remain open, okay? After I saw it drop down, okay? Number one, I'm buying the 5-minute bullish order block, okay? So as it rises down, okay? I didn't get the exact fill at the high of the down candle here, but this right here is a change of state delivery in the 5-minute time frame. All right. So when it drops down there, I'm buying the 5-minute bullish order block. Okay. And I already explained all the logic and narrative surrounding why I'd be looking for higher pricing, right? So not just randomly buying in off of change of state delivery. The narrative, logic, and bias was there, right? And then when you go down to the lower time frame, okay, simple order flow tells me, okay, we get above, trade back down. We'd expect this up close candle to act as support and keep us higher. So costs are cut in half. Okay, stop losses, I mean, pretty relative to break even. I mean, 10 handles on NQ really isn't anything to hang your head on, but costs are cut. We're paid. Looking for terminus. And ES was actually able to sweep these pre-market highs here, okay? I wouldn't anticipate it to stop here. Okay, I would anticipate it to keep going until we reach the actual highs. Perfect. So I'd expect this thing to remain heavy here, okay? So if we start like hesitating once we sweep this higher and then sell off, start breaking down close candles, okay, at that point, it's probably time to take, full profits. But at the moment, everything looks perfect. I anticipate this thing to run. Let me know if anyone has taken this and taken their partials already, all right? Honestly, I'd be surprised if most of you did not take this with me because literally the logic and everything was explained almost an hour in advance. So 762, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna move my stop up here. Okay, so stop loss is basically break even. Okay, holding for the runner. Now you're only gonna see me go for large trades like this. All right. All right, first of all, take your partials if you haven't already, okay? We're getting ready to engage this short-term buy-side liquidity pool right here. It's about 53 handles in profit here, okay? I'm only going to be holding runners this large if I'm taking partials along the way, okay? So I want to see this thing remain heavy. Let me take a look at ES here. Okay, not yet at the high. So I'm not going to even bat an eye or consider closing until I see what ES does once it reaches these highs up here. Wait a minute. You're anticipating, GK, you're anticipating the market to rally 130 handles from your entry point. You're expecting that, right? Yes. Okay, do I need to be 1,000% correct about it to make money? No, you guys just saw that happen right now. Okay, we took a partial, we paid ourselves. Okay, and then we're holding on, anticipating price to continue until we reach that. Okay. And if it doesn't, and like I said, if it starts breaking through, showing me red flags, then I'd, obviously take full profits. Okay. But where it stands now, every single thing that I wanted to see out of price is taking place. So I just literally handed you guys almost 60 handles of profit on the NASDAQ here today. So where we're at right now, okay, you don't have to follow me to script. You can do whatever you want with 60 handles in profit, okay? That's enough to feed families right there. This one simple setup right here. And that might sound like a powerful statement, but take it for what it is. It's absolutely 1000% true. Alvaro, beautiful. Great executions there. Amruth, beautiful, beautiful. Golden Child, nice. Alvaro, beautiful. Isaac. And Alex, beautiful. First runner, nice. Okay, so I'm just running down the comments here. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Brian. There's a reason why I didn't need to ask. I already know. All right, so I'm gonna watch this for Vega. Okay, we're dropping down into that. Okay, like I said, I'm not even gonna consider closing this thing until at the very minimum ES rises up into this high right here. So it could drop down to this 5-minute gap. I'm 1000% okay with that. Same with this 5-minute for Vega up here. Okay. If it wants to drop down into that, obviously it's not preferred because we have sell side delivery and buy side delivery. All right, so I'd expect this thing to remain heavy. If it wants to drop down to the 5-minute gap, there's always a chance for that. Okay, so I have to weather that. So here we go. That's beautiful. 5-minute for Vega gap delivery. I would anticipate this to hold and complete the move above buy side liquidity. So I like this immediate reaction at the moment. So I mean, literally, you don't even have to take after taking this setup here with me, depending on your account size, leverage, whatever. I mean, you take this setup right here, you take the 60 handles, you don't need to take another trade for the rest of the week, and you hold your profits, and you're placing the 5% successful traders for the week. Okay. Alrighty. All right, so once again, okay, just retracing down into a 5-minute gap. Beautiful response up off of it so far on ES. I expected to spike above. As for the NASDAQ, looks like it might want to revert down to that. So let me map that out. Okay, now what the key here is, if it does deliver this 5-minute imbalance, how long does it stay within it? And what's the immediate response above that? That's what I'm really what's gonna determine what I do from here once we drop into it, okay? Okay, on the other hand, we're looking and seeing NASDAQ potential to drop down to the 5-minute gap. And at the same time, we're looking at ES, and it already did drop down to the 5-minute gap and had a beautiful expansion above that. So honestly, even if it just left it open, that'd be perfect. Because like I said, we have sell side delivery, buy side delivery. Okay, if it really wants these highs, it'll do it in a quick fashion. Okay, there's definitely going to be retracements along the way. I'm not saying that there won't be, but more times than not, you want to see quick delivery. to the highs, not much hesitation, okay? So ES is kind of hanging around here now after delivering the 5-minute gap, but still holding to the upside. So like I said, if NASDAQ does drop down there, I would just view this as a very natural retracement into a 5-minute gap, okay? And I would weather that, and I would just basically just study and anticipate the very high end to be respected, okay? Because in a, market maker buy model that we're anticipating here, that's what you would expect. The very high end of this gap to be respected, okay? And fast delivery up off of that. Okay, look at these highs here as well. Does that look clean to you? Or too clean to you? In my opinion, it does for me. Do I implement pyramiding? To be honest, I mean, with all the payouts I took this year, not one singular trade had pyramid going on. So it's definitely a good thing to utilize, okay, if you have great conviction in what you're trading. All right, well, I just got interrupted there. Just want you guys to hear. But anyway, definitely a very, very powerful thing to utilize if you have great conviction of what you're trading. But it's, it's obviously not necessary to make money, and I'm showing proof of that, right? But yeah, no, definitely if you are confident in your setup and you see like a next retracement, then absolutely yes, you can pyramid. Okay, you just have to manage your risk accordingly and just just be okay with losing whatever you're risking. Okay, right? So obviously the simple stuff like not over leveraging, not too many pyramids. And listen, if you're looking to pyramid in this right here, so you take the very high to the low, every single one of your pyramids have to take place in this discount if it's high probability. So if you're trying to pyramid in the premium, that's when things become a little bit tricky and you're opening yourself up to unneeded risk. Okay, so anything within the discount and the range I just showed you is valid for pyramiding. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so like I said, we had the delivery off that 5-minute for Vega on ES, and honestly, beautiful response right up off of that immediately. That's exactly what I want to see. Okay, and with us expanding above this down candle now, I really don't want to see it trade down to that 5-minute gap now. Okay, I want to see this act as a springboard, preferably. So like I said, guys, 60 handles in profit here. You guys have plenty of time to think about what you want to do with that. Okay, so I'm never gonna advise you, what to do with your equity and whatnot. But all I can do is share my trades with you and give you the logic beforehand. Okay. So in this here, we'd be holding the runner for 50. $125 handles here, okay? Now, will I get the entire thing? I mean, probably, but if not, I'm going to be managing risk accordingly and looking to take profits, full profits, should the market really show me certain red flags that I do not want to see. But at the moment, it's showing me every single thing that I want to see, okay? So yeah, I really wouldn't anticipate this thing to slow down much now that we're in the premium in the range, right? So honestly, classic model number 2 underway here. Creates these down close candles right at equilibrium, shifts above that, trades back down into it. You'd be buying that, putting your stop loss below the down candle, holding for the buy side liquidity. So for CS Blem, like I was explaining, also notice that, if you're buying here, you're buying just around equilibrium, okay? So, like, you don't need to take it, to heart where, if you're not in the discount, you can't pyramid, okay? The only exception is, okay, yes, you can take a pyramid right around equilibrium or just a small bit above it, okay? But anything beyond that, if it's not model number 2, then just don't even bother with it. And just let it do its thing. Perfect delivery here. Okay, so stop loss is at break even. Cost or cut. We already paid ourselves at 30 handles. And then we're holding for the buy side liquidity that I was, explaining that I wanted to see early on the stream here with you guys. And there we go. ES has now delivered that buy side liquidity. Beautiful. Obviously did not offer an entry point, or else I would have entered on it. Okay, all right, boom. I like how we're soaring above it. Okay, I don't want to see it slow down at the high, so that's exactly what I want to see if I'm holding a trade on NQ. Perfect. Perfect. Beautiful. This setup right here is enough to feed families, guys. So we're almost about 100 handles in profit right now. Like I said, you guys can do whatever you want with that. Whatever you desire in this world. 100 handles in profit. It's yours right now. Perfect. Stop loss now gets raised in profit. Okay, I'm not raising it any more than what I just did right now. Perfect. Mackinac, beautiful. Mackinac with $1,500 made on that trade. Perfect. Beautiful. So let's see if it wants to revert down to this Fairway gap. So I'm going to keep studying what ES does, especially since we delivered the highs already. Okay. Fund of the count up $200 for Quinton Milius. Beautiful.
She looks okay.
Yes.
It fits her perfectly now.
Good. Dobra. Kakuya headband, baby.
Amazing.
Okay. Alright, so like I said, let's watch this for Vega. Okay. Perfect. That's the only thing I want to hear right now. I took partials, and my stop loss is in profit now. That's the only thing I want to hear out of you guys. Now, do not raise your stop loss any higher than when I have it here, because that's just foolish, and you're opening yourself up to get stopped prematurely, okay? So, stop loss is 32 handles in profit right now. And then, obviously, this first partial was 30 handles. I mean, Brian, there's nothing to be frustrated about that with, honestly. I don't know if you are or not, but that's nothing to be frustrated about. I mean, it looks like you still caught about 100 handles there. That's beautiful. All right, good. Beautiful. So like I said, guys, I just want to keep reminding you we're hovering around 90 handles in profit right now. Okay, it's good to see that a lot of you, took your money, went on about your day. So just a basic understanding, like I'm literally reading order flow as we're rising up in profit, right? So when we shifted above these down candles, I was like, okay, as soon as I see that, I don't want to see this fair value gap filled on the 5-minute time frame. It did not do that. Shifts above, slams down into that. This to me, other than the entry that I took, was the only other logical entry point within this run here, in my opinion. Okay. And then when it comes up, I would anticipate this to act as support. All right. And then right here, we had that first fair value gap formed at a 930. So I would very much so like to see this act as support. Now, let's say we just slip through this fair value gap, close beyond it, start getting aggressive. Okay, at that point, I'm probably just going to take profit around 60 handles down here. Okay, but at this moment, everything looks great, and we're going to continue to hold this thing until terminus. Yes, already delivered everything that I was looking for. Okay, worked up into this. This here is a daily for or sorry, an hourly inversion for value gap extended through. It's actually a balanced range now. Okay, once again, there's always like that small chance that NASDAQ can like kind of hang around here, work down into a 5-minute imbalance, and then continue higher. It's not preferred though because of how deep we are on this premium. I would expect real solid aggressiveness to the upside, okay, to complete the move to the buy side liquidity. Honestly, I think in the almost 3 years I've been streaming, I think this is probably the, if should full take profit be hit, and when it does, that would be the third largest trade I've ever taken on stream. $762, beautiful. Wow. Safe to say that 762 is cashing out here today and doing well. Beautiful to see you guys. After I close up this trade, the only thing I want to see is beautiful executions. Okay, that's the only thing I want to see in the chat. And if you didn't execute it, I mean, you literally just look at this, and this is like an amazing study point because you see, oh wow, we knew the logic, narrative, and bias, everything. We knew all that stuff beforehand, before taking the trade, and then we came in and take it, and we were able to make money out of it, right? And then you study how we read order flow within this run. So even if you're not actually making money off of this yourself at the moment, okay, you don't look at that as, shit, dude, I'm missing out and it's no progress. No, you just look at it as a learning opportunity because there's a lot to be learned within what I just did here. PBX, beautiful. All right, so like I said, there's that 5-minute fair value gap delivered. So now what we do within this is very, very important, okay? So I like how we're delivering that. Now I want to see a fast delivery up out of that, okay? ES not really showing signs of slowing down here. Perfect. All right, so everything is normal and natural here for me in my eyes, okay? We're just consolidating on the 1-minute chart and dropping down in this 5-minute imbalance. I'd expect us to act as institutional order flow. Now, if we create a swing low, here's the key here. If we create a swing low within this 5-minute gap, right, expand a little bit, and then break that swing low, okay, I'm taking my profits, okay? Very, very simple. But at the moment, we drop down to a 5-minute gap. That to me is perfectly natural, okay? And I would expect that to push price up into our terminus buy side liquidity, okay? So this here is notice how there's very minimal markups on my chart with all this. Okay, I'm not bringing every single concept into the mix. I'm not extending everything through. Okay, I'm not coloring on the charts where you can barely see anything. Okay. Perfect. Be that lead beautiful. Good to see that. So I mean, you guys like can clearly like you see what happens whenever you conduct your, so like let's say that you blew all your equity yesterday on Tuesday action where we were clearly able to identify that as low probability and we didn't really do anything. It was break even day, right? If you're putting it all out there on the day like this and blowing your equity and then you come into a day like this and all it's going to do is bring you back to break even. But if you conduct yourself well through this, okay, and you're able to wait for this right here, that's perfect, right? That's the name of the game right there. So ES still showing relative strength, not showing signs of slowing down, all right? At the moment, at least. All right, so delivering half of the 5-minute gap, that to me is okay. I want to see this thing really expand soon here now, though, okay? If it hangs around too much, then I'm just going to take my full profits and be content, okay? Obviously, it'd be preferred to see full terminus, which I'm most likely going to happen. But if I see certain things take place within this range here, okay, I'm going to have to take my full profits at 50, 70 handles, okay? Amruth, no more than 1% ever. Okay, never any more than 1% you should be risking on evaluation accounts. Now, granted, you should, like in my opinion, you should trade. Now, I'm thinking about it. Evaluation accounts, you should be trading them more aggressively than you would a PA account, okay? Because like you don't want to be stuck in the funded page for months on end, right? You just want to get funded and be able to make your real money. But whatever it is, okay, just stick to a realistic risk management plan. Don't try to gamble evaluation counts because all that's going to do is instill bad habits whenever you actually do get that fund of the account. Okay, so like you gamble the fund of the account. I see a lot of people do this, and they get it, and they're like, oh, like what? They're kind of confused, like, oh, wait, what do I do now? Okay, so like I said, delivering this 5-minute gap multiple times, which is what I really didn't want to see, okay? Okay, I want to see a fast delivery now, okay? It's already done its due diligence within this 5-minute gap. I want to see fast delivery up out of it now, all right? Notice my stop loss is below this down candle right here. That was formed to equilibrium. Okay, it really could revert to the high end of this order block here, but I really would not want to see that. Okay, it could though, all right? So that would be natural. That wouldn't be something to panic on. But it's just not preferred. Especially with ES already hanging around here and delivering the buy side liquidity here. Come on, NASDAQ. We need that fast delivery, or else I'm going to have to take my profits. Show me your hand. Okay. I'll take my full profits there. All right, beautiful. I'm out. Perfect. So that was obviously too much delivery through the 5-minute gap. Okay, but either way, I'm still able to get paid. It wasn't able to get to the full terminus that I wanted, but all in all, okay, 40, 30. So about 70 handles are able to profit there, even without the buy side liquidity being tagged, okay? So, yes, okay, delivering back to the 5-minute gap. Okay, beautiful. Like I said, guys, all I want to see is executions, all right? So I'm going to look to close this up here, understand that we just took a great trade, and, we're profitable for the day. I mean, 70 handles is way more than enough, okay? I explained to you guys that all you really need is 20 handles per day on NASDAQ, but we caught 70. I think that'll do it here. So, once again, good work to all of you. Good work to all of you that caught that trade. That's the type of stuff I'm looking for. That's the type of stuff that's going to feed families. That's the type of stuff that's going to pull you out of poverty. That's the type of stuff that's going to cover that bill that you're worried about. All this stuff, coupled with consistency, is going to take you very, very far. So, although, obviously I was not able to get the full terminus there, okay, I'll still be able to pay myself very, very nicely, okay? And that will conclude what has been a great session here, all right? And we'll look to do the same exact thing, Thursday and Friday. And I appreciate you guys for coming out as always. Hope you learned something. Take care of yourself, guys.